Hello to the chicas and the chicas. As you may have figured from the title and the thumbnail, today on the menu is going to be a dreaded opening, and that is the French defense. And when I say dreaded, I'm going to elaborate on this right away, as the thesis of today's video is going to be that in my professional opinion, the French is one of the most harmful openings one can learn as their first opening repertoire, as their first go-to choice when they are rated anywhere between 0 to 15, 1600. Anywhere in between those two, French should be potentially, in my opinion, one of the very last openings you ever learn. The reason why I'm making this video is because in the past 2 weeks, on multiple times I came across people who submitted games for analysis, and I found that they play the French exactly in that rating range. And not only were they struggling with the French itself, but their chess showed the signs of them being French players, which is exactly what I'm about to explain to you, what's wrong here and what I think. So, why not the French? The first and most important thing that we need to discuss here is that no matter what opening you learn, what you would like to keep in mind with regards to your opening choice is that before you learn any openings, right? Before you learn any opening lines in your chess education, you should have received chess lessons from your coach or wherever you learned chess from, that the purpose of the opening play for either color and the main goals are as follows: obtain central control, develop your pieces toward the center, try to actively develop your pieces, and I'm now going to demonstrate it only for white. Actually, no, I'm going to only do it for black so that you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Try to aim for developing knights before bishops as a general rule of thumb, and put your bishops on potential diagonals where they are well functioning and not stuck behind pawns. So, good, bad. This should have been everyone's first lesson. I hardly ever teach this because I never have, or very rarely do I have, very low rated students. But this is absolutely imperative that this is your initial knowledge of what is going on in any openings. And so, when you pick an opening, especially in your early phase, or better still, when you and your coach together pick an opening for you in your early chess career, you should be going like, what openings can I pick that support these kind of concepts, and they allow me to practice these very good habits in my games? And French defense said no one ever, because right off the bat, what you are doing is that you're signing yourself up for two incredibly uncomfortable scenarios which a beginner level chess player is not trained to deal with. Number one, an absolutely garbage bishop, also known as the French bishop. And number two, the difficulty of developing this knight. Now, I know full well, before the keyboard warriors get onto me, that this is a fully sound opening. In fact, I do play the French here and there, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But using this tool to nurture the concepts that I just told you about before is the exact same thing as trying to train someone to be a very, very successful long distance runner, and the first thing you do with them is that you tie their legs together. Why would you do that? Instead of letting them free and immediately starting the correct running technique. That's like for like. Like, this guy wants to develop this bishop here and this knight here, and they can't do that. So from move 3, they are squashed, they feel uncomfortable, and they are taught to accept this as an okay scenario, because I will show you here the theory that will get you out of this trouble, which it will, except that once again, we are not nurturing good habits. In fact, we are making people accept that it's totally okay to play an opening where your knight has got no good squares to go to, your bishop has got one legal move, and that's a-okay. No, it's not. Not as far as opening principles are concerned. And so it's very, very important that your first openings are really, really openings that allow you to thrive in terms of piece mobility and central control. And because of we are talking black openings, your choices are a lot more limited, simply because white will 98% of them will either play e4 or d4, which obviously reduces your chances of coming forward with something really ambitious that allows you to control the center really well. Obviously, if we are facing people who do this, then it doesn't matter which color we are playing, because we'll be playing correct openings, right? But as soon as we are facing a serious opening, now we are limited to choices. And the French, once again, is one of the worst in terms of allowing our students to demonstrate their understanding of piece mobility, central control, free development, and so on. And if you think about the other French variations, it's not like the Rubinstein is going to be much better. We're still stuck behind this pawn. We gave up tension in the center. We invited the enemy knight to the center. Like, this is what we want. This is an optimal opening. What you see here on the white side, look at this. Take, 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 bishop g5, bishop d3. All of them are developed onto beautiful squares. There is connection, coherence. Now I can go queen e2 castle queenside, or I can castle kingside. Black has got still a garbage bishop, incredibly passive pieces everywhere, and we are hoping to equalize, which is doable, by the way. But again, this is not how you want to pass on the knowledge, and this is definitely not how you want then that knowledge to be practiced. So I can already hear in your head going like, okay, but then what do you recommend instead? There are a fair few chances for sure, and fair few ideas as to what you could do. But in my opinion, almost all beginners should start out with e4, e5. It has a bit of a reputation as the beginner's opening, and you just, shred it off like a snake shreds its skin. When the correct season comes, or as they mature and grow, because it's no longer appropriate. Well, look at the top 10 of the world right now. I can't even quote who are in the top 10, but you look at Magnus, you look at Hikaru, you look at Fabi, you look at Gukesh, world champion, reigning world champion, Arjun. All of these people, the number one weapon against e4 is e5. They never ever shredded that skin. They added other things to it, but fundamentally e4, e5 players. Right? And what does it allow you to do? I mean, just have a look at a French, right, which I have done, and I'm just going to absolutely wing for you a random opening. Let's go up against Mr. Rosman's Vienna, and I know that he recommends queen f3, but I will show you the other line here, knight c f3, and look at this development. Yeah, oops, pin, yeah, oops, out, I'm done. And look what I have done. Toward the center with the knight. We got distracted by a sub there. Bishops out, not blocked in. The center is controlled beautifully by our pieces. This is what chess looks like. This is what you want to teach to your students, that this is what we aim for every single game. I have had a student who we struggled with for years on end with the French, until I finally, maybe it wasn't years, but a long time, convinced him to switch to e4, e5. And literally, he felt like a bird that was freed from a cage. He was so not used to the ability to put pieces wherever he wanted to. He couldn't handle the freedom. It was almost the analogy of people when they are released from jail and they just can't handle the pressure of freedom. Same here. But again, look at what happens against, for example, in e4, e5 in the four knights Scotch, right? So look at black here. Take, develop the bishop, create a pin, attack the pawn. We take back toward the center, so we can play d5. We castle the king, we play d5. They take, we take back. They play h3, we play bishop e6. Note again what happened. Pieces are out, developed. My knights went before bishops. The bishops are out. I'm controlling the center. Black is a happy camper. Like every single e4 or e5 opening, you can pick a line where your pieces are beautifully developed and you have freedom to play with. The French does not allow you to do this at all. It's gonna be misery, and you can learn theory, and I know that that theory is going to guarantee you the same level of close to equality that most openings are. But again, the main argument is that you are not learning good habits. In fact, you are made used to very bad situations, and you trying to make the best of a really suboptimal world. Even the Caro-Kann, in my opinion, and I can't believe I'm saying it, is a much better choice. Much better choice. Because no matter which line you pick here, whether the Capablanca bishop f5 or even the nowadays very trendy Tartakover, your bishops are good to go. You have super easy development, no worries. Look at this, castles, 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 bishop e6, whatever, knight d7, queen c7, all of your pieces are well placed. Yeah, we are a bit worse because we have no central pawn, but overall, no biggie. Like, nothing comes close to the French when it comes to misery. In fact, the Caro-Kann is a really cool example, and I'm going to finish here with the French bashing, is that the e5, the pushed, the advanced version of the Caro-Kann, is a really interesting line because we often like to refer to it as a good French. Now, if you are playing an opening where people like to refer to variations of that, or rather other openings that have the same structure as the good French, that's a good sign for you that maybe your opening, which is just French, bit struggling. There are two openings in the entire realm of chess that I can think of where we very often refer to a certain structure as a good version of blah. One of them is the French, where... the Caro-Kann, or rather the French, where you can say that this is a good French because we are not stuck with the stupid pawn on, bishop rather, on c8. And so you can go c5, knight e7, bring the knight to f5, and black is fine. And the other one, which by the way is very, very analogous, is the Stonewall, where again, we are stuck with this miserable bishop. And my d4, d5 course, by the way, funny that this came up, does have variations in it. Where we actually exactly aim for what I just mentioned there before, which would be ignore the move order now, please. A very, very good version of a Stonewall with the pawn out here. So we go, let's say, knight e4, take, bishop d3, f5, and tada, a good version of the Stonewall because the bishop is not here. All right, and the French works the same way, that many openings are based on the idea of turning it into a good French. Long story short, friends, I am happy to defend my stance against anyone and any time, any coach, anyone. I am very, very, very firmly committed to the concept that teaching the French to anyone between 0 and 1500 is a crime against their chess improvement, and it shouldn't be done. And any other opening you will pick instead, whether it be e4, e5, whether you want to play the Caro-Kann. In some cases, you might even go to the Sicilian, but that's a very gutsy choice for a first opening. Even some Peertz variations may be, in my opinion, slightly better, although that is quite on the risky side of things for a beginner opening. But why not just e4, e5 and learn chess from the best, most reliable opening, right? And when you are 2200 and you develop your positional understanding and you get the subtleties and you understand how to defend, how to, pursue favorable trades and so on, that's when likely you will be ready, in my opinion, for the French. Mantra over. I hope you guys liked this one. It was a little bit different from the recent videos, but I wanted to throw out there another opening video, not seeking controversy, by the way. Mostly because I think I'm right, but simply because I really want to look out for those people who are struggling with the French. They don't understand why their chess is not improving in general. Hopefully this is going to shed some light on what can be done and what should be done. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please don't forget to sub, to like. I am very keen to read the comments on this one, and I shall see you in the next video. Thanks for watching again. Bye.